24-Hour Boss Podcast, Episode 3. Today we'll talk about why you should consider a side hustle. We'll cover two main reasons why you need a side hustle. We'll also talk about why you shouldn't sit on your talents. And we'll also talk about some side hustles you can start. Hello and welcome to the 24-Hour Boss Jumpstart Podcast. This is the show where we inspire individuals with knowledge and give them the tools they need to help them start an online business or side hustle. You ready to dive into it? Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of the 24-Hour Boss Jumpstart Podcast. I'm Brian Hill, and welcome to the show on today. And today we're going to be talking about why you should consider a side hustle. A side hustle basically is something outside of your regular 9-to-5 job that is used to make extra money. So anything you can do outside of your regular 9-to-5 is basically a side hustle. And so should you consider doing a side hustle? For most of us, we go to school or we went to school to get the careers or the jobs that we have today. And in most cases, this works out for us. You know, most of us have been able to go to school and get a degree and get some pretty or have some pretty nice careers based off of this. And this is good. This is great. And we're able to work in the career of our choice. However, in today's times, even a great career doesn't equal job certainty. We're in the midst of course, uncertain times. Even before the pandemic started, jobs are just not guaranteed. At any time, any of us can be laid off or let go for any reason. Even if we have good jobs, we can be laid off. Some of us, like I stated, have master's degrees. Some of us even doctorates. Even at those levels, we can be laid off or let go. Whether the company is doing good or bad, you can be let go. And this is the uncertain times that we live in. I can recall my wife having a job where things were going well. Things were going good. There was no sign of trouble. And she went to work one morning and she noticed her badge wasn't working. And some of her other coworkers came and they tried to get in and they noticed that their badges weren't working. They're trying to call around to figure out, well, hey, what's going on and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, lo and behold, they found out that the job just basically, or the company just basically went belly up just overnight. No warning signs, no signals of anything as to what happened, but the next day they went into work. None of them had jobs, and that company just basically just collapsed just like that. And so these are the things that we are faced with, where, you know, for any reason we can be let go. We can lose our jobs. And regardless to how well things are going, this is just the times that we live in. That's no knock on any company, any job, but this is just the times that we live in. And with that being said, that would be for me the number one reason for you to consider and get some type of side hustle because of job uncertainty. Now, when we consider also the pandemic of 2020, which is still going on, that caused even more uncertainty during our times now, or you could say it's basically an economic crisis. There was a Market Watch report in August that we lost 22 million jobs because of the pandemic. There's so many businesses that closed their doors for good and will never open up again because of the pandemic. There's restaurants that are near me, near my area, where we went to these restaurants on many occasions. They closed their doors for good. And it's like, man, that's just so sad that these things have happened. But these are the times that we live in. Things are uncertain. And so, if anything we learned from 2020, the lesson that we all should take and consider is that multiple incomes is probably necessary from 2020. That's a lesson that we all should consider is that multiple incomes is necessary. And so if you lost your job for whatever reason, at least if you had a side hustle, you got an additional income. And so that's something that we all need to take into consideration. Even the scriptures, even the Bible tells us that wisdom is the principal thing. So you got to think about wisdom, what is best for me to do? And that's all I'm trying to get you to consider is making a wise choice or considering your financial circumstances. The grasshopper and the ant, when you think about that story, the moral of the story was, of course, there's a time for work, there's a time for play. So we're in a serious time right now where you really got to consider the work you do and the play you do. And right now, it's a time to really get busy and figure out work because even under this pandemic, the bills, they don't stop. There's no electric company or no gas company that's saying, hey, just because, there's a pandemic, we're not going to send you this month's bill. That's not happening. Now, I will say that there are many companies that considered the fact of the times that we're in, and maybe they give you grace periods or they delayed it. Even I know in regard to school loans, they basically just allowed them to just delay the time of it. They basically allowed students to delay the payments for them to pay their school loans. So there are some companies that did that, but for the most part, our bills aren't stopping. And so you got to do whatever you can to take care of your family, of course, in regard to legal matters. But these are the things we got to consider. So the number 2 reason to consider a side hustle is that you can earn extra money. And I don't know anybody in this day and time that doesn't want extra money. But even in a household where 2 incomes are coming in, it seems that it's still not enough. And so extra money is definitely a welcome thing for anybody in this day and time. So wouldn't it be nice if on your regular 9-to-5 job there was an extra $200? That would be great. If you look at your check and you say, "Man, I got an extra $200." And what if that happened just about every paycheck? You got an extra $200. Do you know what you could do with that extra $200? There's quite a bit that you can do. I know there's a lot that I could do with that $200. There's plenty you could get groceries. You could use that for many different things. But a side hustle is basically, it could be the starting point to earning extra money. And so here's some other things you could do with that extra money. You can use it, of course, for your emergency savings. You could use it to save for retirement. You could use it for the kids' college fund. You could use it to pay off debts. And, of course, once you pay off debts, if you pay off all your debts, the money that you're bringing in, that's your money. That's money you're not giving away, to those debtors. So that extra money could go to various places. And so that's something to consider. But there's endless things you could do with this extra money. And this is what a side hustle could be the start of for you. It could be extra money. And in this time of uncertainty, most of us are trying to pay off debts. We're trying to save money for the future. We want to make sure that we got, like I said, emergency savings. And so it seems that we're all trying to figure out a way to earn or make extra money. And so if that's the case, or if this sounds like you, and of course, I think this sounds like a lot of us, of what we're doing in this day and time, we're trying to figure out, how can I make extra money? Then you should consider a side hustle. Like I said, when we say hustle, we're not talking about something illegal. We're talking about legal things to do. Legal jobs, legal businesses. And so we'll talk about some ideas here in a moment. But in considering a side hustle, you may be saying, well, what is my side hustle. I don't really have any talent. And I would say that you're wrong about that. Actually, most of us have talents. Actually, most of us are sitting on our talents. Most of us have real world experience that we've gotten either from a job or a career that basically we've forgotten that we had, or if we've forgotten that, man, I forgot that I even did that job. So there are a lot of things that I know most of us have, a lot of talents that we have that we're not even considering that we could use those talents, those gifts we have, and we could start some type of extra side hustle or extra or business or some sort of way we could earn extra money. So here's some things to consider, some ideas. So you could be someone that works on cars, changing oils, changing brakes. Do you know the people that would pay you to change their oil or their brakes? There are people that don't know how to do this. I actually learned how to do this myself. My dad taught me how to change oil. I learned how to change brakes. But there are so many people that don't know how to do this, and they go pay hundreds of dollars to these auto repair places to change their brakes, change their oil. So that's something. If you have that talent, that's a side hustle. That's a job. That's a business you could start. Just changing people's brakes, changing people's oil. Maybe you know gardening. I don't know gardening, but there's people that will pay to have people to come and make their yards look great, make their gardens look good, make their landscaping look good. Maybe you're a great cook. Maybe you got great customer service skills. Maybe you know how to or have the equipment to clean homes and offices. Maybe you do computer repair. These are all things you could use as a talent or something that you have to where you can do some type of side hustle or start some type of business. So I know that you may be saying, well, what is my talent? So you do have some type of talent, but you just got to figure that out. So here's something else to keep in mind. Whatever people don't want to do, they will pay someone else to do it for them. I'm going to repeat that again. Whatever people don't want to do, they will pay someone else to do it for them. So now let's consider also again the talents that you have, the gifts that you have, the experiences that you have. And just think about that statement I just said. Whatever people don't want to do, they will pay someone to do it for them. So let me give you a better example of this. People will pay people to do things that they don't want to do. Here are some examples. There are people that they don't have the time, and maybe they don't even feel like it, but they will pay people to go and walk their pets. I know people, I don't know people, but I've heard of examples of people starting businesses where they walk people's dogs or walk people's pets, take care of their pets, and people pay them to walk their dogs. So this is like I said, this is a way to make extra money. This is a way for you to earn income. If you like pets, or if you have maybe your kids or something, that's something you can consider. But I'm just giving you examples of what people do. Even people pay people to wash their dogs, to take care of to groom their dogs. So if that's something you know how to do, guess what? That's a business you could start. Of course, there is poop service, where I know there's companies in our city where people call them out to come and basically clean their yard of all the poop and the waste that their pets have let go. So these are things that people pay for. Of course, you don't have to do that, but I'm just trying to give you an example of how you got to look within to see, hey, man, there's plenty that you can do. I've seen this on social media where there's a company that will clean your trash cans. They'll come and sanitize and clean your trash cans. So again, whatever people don't want to do, they'll pay somebody else to do it. So you may say, no, I clean my own trash can. Well, that's fine. But guess what? There's a business out there where they'll pay people because they say, well, either, I don't know, maybe it's that they don't feel like it, or maybe they just don't want to, but they pay people to come and clean their trash can. Car washes. I know people that have mobile car wash companies where they come out to your job or to your home and they will clean your car. Even people pay to have people help them declutter their homes. So these are all ideas where people have thought, and they actually made these ideas a business. They actually made these things a side hustle. And a lot of times it starts out small, but guess what? It can grow. It can get bigger. And so this is why I'm saying you can't sit on your talents. You can't sit on the experience that you have, because this is something that you could use that could actually get you paid. Why sit on your talents when you can get paid for them? So here are some more side hustle ideas you can do. And we talked about this, or actually, if you are an email subscriber to our site, there is a free guide that we give out, 3 side hustles that you can do today. So I would encourage you, if you don't have that, you can go to our website, www.24hrboss.com, and sign up to get our emails, and you'll get a free guide, 3 side hustles you can do today. So we'll talk about a couple of those, but I just want to throw that out there that you can have that as information as well. So one side hustle idea you can do is a consultant. As a consultant, of course, you are the SME, which is basically the subject matter expert. You are the expert in whatever field or criteria you have. So whatever experience field you have, like I listed out, maybe you're a cook, a chef, a mechanic, you are the expert. You know what you're doing. And as a consultant, you would be the person that people, of course, they pay you, because when people are faced with situations where they don't have the answers, they call the experts. So as a consultant, you can also be, maybe business or finance. People pay people to do their accounting, their taxes. So if that's your expertise, guess what? You could be a consultant to help people with their accounting, with their taxes. You could be a consultant as a web designer. If you know web design, you could be a consultant. You could help people to design their websites and do all of that. So this is a business. This is a side hustle you could start and to earn extra money. Maybe marketing. Maybe social media marketing. Maybe branding. These are other ideas you could do to be or work at as a consultant. You can be a marketing consultant for companies. And like I said, a lot of people don't know how to market their companies. They don't know about social media. Some people don't even know how to create a Facebook page. So you could be that expert to help them in this category. You could be that person as a subject matter expert, or as like I said, a consultant. Resumes. A lot of people pay people to help them with their resumes. And think about all the jobs that we've lost through this pandemic. There are plenty of people that, hey, they want help to help them get their resume noticed. So if you know how to do resumes, if you're an expert, if this is your expertise, I'm telling you that people will pay people to do these type of services. Maybe, like I've said earlier, maybe gardening. If you know gardening, you could be a garden consultant. I don't know the actual word for that, but you're the expert when it comes to landscaping. So people will pay you to do that. Graphic design. We'll talk about that in the three side hustles you can do today. Graphic design. So if you know anything about graphic design, you could be a graphic designer. If you know how to design business cards, logos, illustrations, or any type of branding, people pay to do that. Actually, that's a part of marketing. You got to have some type of business cards, logos, illustrations, branding. You got to have this. So if you know how to do that, there are plenty of companies that will pay you, or plenty of individuals that have started business that say, hey, you know what? I don't know anything about branding. I need help with this. You can do that. One way you can get involved into graphic design is Canva. I don't know if you've heard of Canva, but Canva.com. This site basically is a site for those that are into marketing, or if you want to be a graphic designer. Canva can help you create anything. Canva makes everyone looks like an expert without much effort. Their site has plenty of design templates, whether it's a logo you're trying to create, whether it's some type of graphic for your Facebook page or for your Instagram page, or if you're trying to create brochures or any type of marketing material. Canva has all of these templates that you can easily design, easily create. All you got to do is do a little editing and changing of it, and you can create something that looks amazing. So that's a tool on our website that we recommend for anybody that has a business, or if, hey, like I said, if you want to be a graphic designer, you have to use Canva. You should be using Canva because Canva has some great things that you can create when it comes to graphic design. And so they can make anybody without any experience look like an expert. Of course, you would probably need to do some practice. You may even need to take a course or something, not in regard to using Canva, but I'm saying if you want to be a graphic designer, you may have to ramp up your skills, take a course or something like that. But you can sign up for Canva for free. They have a free, you can sign up for free. They also have a paid version that you could use, but there's a free version you can use that gives you plenty of information or plenty of access to their site where you can create all kinds of designs. So Canva is something you really, if you're into graphic design, you really need to sign up or check out Canva. So you can, like I said, you can go to canva.com and check them out. And so I hope that this information that we provided to you today has given you some type of insight and maybe help you to consider hey, maybe I do need to think about a side hustle. Like I said, you just never know how big it can grow. You just never know. But at the end of the day, as I stated, I think we're all trying to figure out a way to make some extra income. We all work jobs where it's like, man, it would be nice if I could get a raise. Well, you have talents right now that you could be doing or be using to give yourself a raise. So I would say consider all the reasons and all the examples that we gave you to think about doing a side hustle. Think about maybe starting a business. Like I said, you don't have to, you may not be able to jump into this full time. Of course, it would be wise to do that. Just, you started out small. You just never know though where it could go. So we hope this information on this show has been helpful. We hope that, it's helped you to maybe give you some clarity, some understanding in regards to a side hustle. So, but those are just suggestions for us to give you some type of idea of what you could do. The key to finding your side hustle and your talent is basically just look at what you're passionate about. What are you passionate about? What do you like to do? If you can narrow that down, then you can probably look at, okay, you know what? This is what I think I would be good at in regard to a side hustle or in regard to starting a business. So you may have to do some, research. You may have to do some searching within yourself to see what skills you have. But if that's what it takes, hey, that's what it takes. There's nothing wrong with doing that because investing in yourself is never a bad thing. You may have to even take some classes to ramp up your skill set. Like I said, that's a good thing. Investing in yourself is never a bad thing. So, hey, we want to thank you guys for listening and tuning in to this episode, to this show. We hope you've gained some invaluable knowledge from this show today. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to our email to sign up, we'll send you for free the guide, 3 side hustles you can start today. So if you haven't got that, sign up for our email and we'll send you that for free. It's a free guide that shows you just 3 side hustles, gives you some other added information in regard to side hustles. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our social media pages at 24hourboss.com. Hey, remember, if you don't do it, someone else will. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for visiting the 24-Hour Boss Jumpstart podcast. Be sure to visit our site at www.24hrboss.com to be inspired, to learn, and start a side hustle.